Idit Ohel,
Okay.
welcome to Jerusalem Dateline. You're the mother of hostage Alon Ohel, taken hostage from the Nova Festival, from a bomb shelter near there. Tell us a little bit about your son.
My son he's my oldest. Now he's 24. He was kidnapped at the age of 22.
Wow.
And Alon is just a beautiful person, smiling all the time. He's such a lovable, and he is just, he loves life and always tries to help people in need. And he's also a musician. He's a pianist. He started playing at the age of 9, and classical and also jazz. He's just a really wonderful person to be around, loving good food and good wine. Obviously, the beach. He loves surfing and scuba diving and doing all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And his passion is also with cars. He has a great, like he's a genius in everything that has to do with cars. From a very young age.
Okay. And can you tell us what you know about his condition now?
Yeah, so Alon was kidnapped alive after a very hard bombings of Hamas on the in the bomb shelter, and he was injured. He has sharp nails all over his body still, especially one in his eye, which he does not see in one eye. He is blinded. He was pushed and he got a very bad head injury because of the rifle. The back of the rifle for the terrorists pushing him on the truck to Gaza. Yeah, he's being starved and bounded in chains, but mostly he's injuring and is life-threatening. Every day, his immune system is trying to overcome what he's been through, and it's not easy. It is not easy. And we need him to come home. He has never seen a doctor. The ICRC has never seen Alon. And we know that a young 19, maybe 18 or 19-year-old terrorist stitched his wounds, his leaving the sharp nails in his body with a needle and thread with no anesthesia. That's what we heard. It happened.
That's horrendous.
It is, yeah, it's horrific.
Wow. So now there's talk about another ceasefire deal, releasing more hostages. How does that make you feel at this point?
I'm glad that there's like a window of opportunity that things could happen and that Alon will be returned to us, hopefully, because it's crucial, because of his injury. I'm worried. I don't know what will happen. I don't know if it will come about. But I've been, thinking about it and praying for it for so long. I don't think people can understand how hard it is not to see your son or hear from him and just knowing that he's in these terrible conditions for so long. Alon is in the tunnels 40 meters under the ground for more than 635 days.
Yeah.
It is difficult. He hasn't seen sunlight or the sky for so long. It's not easy.
That's really, really hard. So what do you think that the West is missing? What are they not getting? What do you want them to really understand?
Well, Alon is, he's firstly that he's a person. It's not a number. It's not like there's this and this hostages, 50 hostages, and this and this alive or not. It's knowing that behind the number is a person. Alon wants to live his life. He wants to learn to be a musician, learn in the Academy of Music in Israel. He accepted and was supposed to start. That he has a life to live, and that we as a family miss him. I want them to understand that, that what's going on in Gaza right now is terrible. But, Alon has never got any medical aid or humanitarian aid, that is, and he's in Gaza in very harsh conditions as a hostage. And I do wish, and I know that President Trump is doing everything that he can to bring the hostages home, and for me, it's very heartfelt. His team is amazing. I've been in touch with his team many times, and they're so kind and wanting to help and doing what they can to bring the hostages and my son home. And I'm really appreciated about that. What I wish is that when Alon comes home, he will play again, and maybe he will come to even to the White House and play for President Trump, and on the piano. I think Alon, he loves so much kind of musics, mostly at Elton John. Alon loves Elton John. He knows, I think from a young age, where he heard his music from The Lion King, and then he came with others that he listened to. He feels it's part of his, music, musicians that he really looks up to. He loves Lionel Richie and so others. And I think that coming to the States and playing again is something that I wish would happen, maybe when he gets things in order. And I think that we have a lot of help. I think it's not just President Trump's, staff in the States, but also, Ambassador Huckabee. I've met him, and he is also plays music, and he's in the music world, and I think when he saw Alon's, there's a special thing they did in Israel, in the Symphony of Haifa. Alon plays Debussy Clair de Lune. And they took his this music thing that he did, and the orchestra played with it. And I showed it to Huckabee, Ambassador Huckabee, and he said he was amazed. He said, "You know how hard it is to do what they did? Do you know?" They worked at it like about 5 months. He was very amazed about it, and he's doing so much.
That's really
for
great.
That also.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I'll hope with you that he'll be playing again soon, and that he will get to play in the White House. Let me just ask you one more thing. What do you think? You mentioned Gaza, and sometimes there seems to be, maybe a lot, not with President Trump, not with his team, but with a lot of the West, in Europe, in different college campuses, a disconnect. Like, people are so worried about the Palestinians, but they don't remember like how this whole thing started, October 7th. And I just wonder, like, what do you think? Why are they missing the whole point of this?
I'm just Alon's mother. I was a teacher before, the 7th of October, teaching art. And I'm not a politician, or I don't know, I couldn't understand. But what I think is because it has to do with media and what they hear. And I think maybe it has to do with who is in charge or what. I don't even know why. But I think it's about the facts. Sometimes people don't ask questions. They just, people, they hear things and they think it's true. Or it's a very important, I think the most important thing about the 7th of October is to ask why and what happened then. Because Israel was not in Gaza before the 7th of October. Israel did not start this war. 3,000, terrorists comes into Israeli land and rapes and murders and kidnaps civilians from Israeli land. And then what? We're supposed to sit and not do anything? This is scary for our people to live in this country.
Yeah.
So people should ask why it started, and why it started because there's a terrorist organization. Hamas is a terrorist organization. It's not a militant one.
Right.
People forget that.
Right.
And if you are a terrorist organization, you don't by the rules. They do whatever they want,
Right.
and you have to ask why the Palestinian people let Hamas, which is a terrorist organization, take over. They have to ask the questions. I don't. I just want my son home. He did nothing wrong.
Right. Well, we stand with you. We pray for you. We pray and feel the hostages all the time, that they will come out and soon. So we just thank you for joining us. We're going to keep standing with you and hope for good news soon. Idit Ohel, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. And in prayer that it will happen. I believe in prayer. Yeah. Thank you so much.